What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Elune video here on For Misery Gaming. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about, with the release of Trent, how the PvP meta has kind of shifted. This is all with a lot of things that have been added to the games. For instance, the double the amount of health, basically 100% more health that now we all have. We had that before in Alliance Battle, and then gamevil decided to also do that for regular ranked PvP. So now with 100% more HP, you're going to be able to survive a lot more often on like the Chloe nukes, Baldur nukes, Reve nukes, you know, things like that. So how has this affected your PvP comps? Well, there is a new comp that I actually discovered myself. I'm sure other people thought of it and may have already posted it online, but truthfully, I did not like meta copy. This is completely a team comp that I built myself. Not my defense team, but my attack team. And I'm going to go over how this works. So, with given the meta of how that is, what is the main thing that you would encounter problems with, knowing that you probably aren't going to get nuked down, especially if you have units like Weiwei, Freya, Fahrenheit, or you're using Nazar, you know, different units like that are going to give you, or Lesker, Panda, very, very good as well for his cleanse, AoE heal. He's very, very tanky. He also has an S2 strip of debuffs as well, or a strip of buffs. So what is going to hurt you? It's going to be the amount of debuffs where you're locked down by like the Reynas, by the Nikos, things like that, by the Arslans. Those units that are going to lock you down, and even with, you know, lots of good passives to help you survive, eventually you will get taken down if you're locked down continuously. So how do you go about combining that? Well, the first option is using Medjed's S3, but Trent pretty much just power created Medjed out of existence, especially in relation to PvP. While Medjed does have that passive revive, the fact that her S2 is not AoE is a very, very big problem overall, even with the low-cost team souls on her skills. But let's go into why this team works. So first of all, let's go into Fahrenheit. So Fahrenheit, you guys know, with 69,285 health, he, in my team, when I go into PvP, has around 135,000 health. So very, very hard to take down. He's also very, very cost efficient on souls. His S3 is amazing because he can soak up all of that damage when you have units like Weiwei and Freya with Weiwei's S2 and Freya's passive. You're just going to have so much health regen that he's just almost going to be never able to be killed. Even when Chloe's S3, like a maxed out Chloe S3, hitting you down, fully transcended, it's still going to be super, super hard to take this guy down unless you get your healers locked down like your Weiwei's and your Freyas to where you can't heal. So Fahrenheit, awesome, awesome frontline. I still use the charge formation for PvP. It works insanely, insanely well. So he's definitely a great unit to have there. So the next unit we're going to talk about is going to be our Weiwei. So once again, as I say in all my videos, Weiwei's in almost every comp and every mode of the game. Insanely useful, free to play. Not much more you need to talk about. In PvP, in this particular comp, I will never use her S3 unless for some reason my Kang Rim dies and I'm going on turns and I'm just trying to end the last couple of enemies and I'm not encountering a Weiwei or Freya to where they can't be healed up. So then maybe I'll use her S3 to use on like my healers and my tankers to try to burst down enemies if they don't have a way to heal up. So that's the only way I would use her S3, but she's all about her S2 and her passive to regenerate souls. So that's exactly what she is used for. So, but that's like, I mean, pretty much everyone knows that. Obviously, her S3 is very, very good in most modes of the game and even in some PvP comps, but in my particular comp, I will not be using her for her S3. Next, our third supporting cast is going to be Freya. And Freya, once again, with her skills, insanely, insanely good. I say recommend maxing her S2 because it's 4 mana, or 4 souls. I keep saying mana. 4 souls gives you an AoE heal of, those numbers is pretty high, 1140 and then 1.55% of attack as well. And activates a barrier around all allies that absorbs 1140 and 1.55 as well. For damage, excluding soul damage, for 3 turns at maxed out skills. So S2, very, very good AoE heal. Her S1 has an S1 heal, still does a lot of healing because when you have her with her passives giving more and more healing, just insanely, insanely good. Then she even has her S3, which you can use for complete damage immunity if you have her in rotation to where you're going to get burst down by a lot of DPSs like a Nico, a Reve, a Balder, you know, units like that. Chloe, units that are going to just output a lot of DPS before you get another turn with like either your Weiweis or your other support units. Then her S3 can be just a complete like fog and you just take no damage, so it can be really, really good as well. And then her passives obviously are insane. Her S3 is going to give healing, a healing skill that lands on ally. Heal all allies by 5% of the healing amount every affected ally. And then if an enemy's attack lands on an ally, heal HP of all allies by 0.1. So very, very good for every ally struck. So that does work on hit combos. So very, very good. Her passive set, and then obviously her skill set is just pure healing, pure damage reduction. Just awesome, awesome unit there. So that is our 3 of 5. So let's go into the 4th, which is going to be the new hero, which is going to be Trent. So Trent brought in her passive, which just made this absolutely insane. So right here, Mind Probe. As long as Trent is alive, reduce debuff inflict rate of all enemies by 50%. Also, it becomes immune to debuffs for 2 turns at the beginning of each wave. Now, I don't know exactly how wave uses in PvP, but definitely for like content, if it's like maybe she's going to even be useful down the road for Dimension Rift, for instance. If Dimension Rift actually gets a lot harder to where you can get hit with debuffs, then her passive would be effective there for immune for all debuffs. But I don't think it works. I know it definitely doesn't work for boss battles. Like when you get a phase change or something like that, or if like minions spawn, you can't use the immunity there. But definitely the 50% built-in debuff reduction is absolutely insane. That's like what Medjed's S3 basically does. And she has that on a passive that's up all the time as long as she's alive. So my only thing holding me back is I only have 1 copy of her. So she doesn't have a lot of good stats at the moment, being just a regular 6-star. But still insanely, insanely good. I'm not really going to touch on her other 2 passives too much. More just going to talk about her skill set. So skill set, she has viability in a lot, but my particular comp, I primarily lean on her S2. So she has, just like Freya and Fabian and most of the healers out there, she has an ability on her S1 to either heal or deal damage. So depending on the situation, you may have to use her for healing, you may have to use her for damage on her S1. On her S2, very, very good. And this I skilled up her at all, because I'm waiting to see what Rachel does before I commit skill books at the moment. But still very, very good. She has heal HP of all allies by 90 and 0.75 of attack. If an ally reaches max HP, grants enhanced buff that provides immunity against debuffs for 1 turn. Absolutely insane. You combine that with her and Freya. If you S3 Freya and then S2 with Trent, basically you're immune to everything. You're immune to debuffs. You're immune to damage. Everything. So absolutely insane. As far as her S2 goes, that gets you around the meta. So basically, not only does her passive give you that resistance for the debuff meta of, you know, the Nikos, the Arslans, the Chloes, the Renas, all those units, but then she even has her skill 2, which is completely negates it as long as you go to full health on all your units. But if you don't, you're probably going to go to full health at least on most of your units, to where you're not going to have to worry about getting debuffed, especially on your back row units. Maybe your Fahrenheit can get debuffed, but honestly, Fahrenheit getting lockdown isn't the worst thing, because he's so hard to kill, even without his skills being able to activate. So, but still, her S2 is amazing. Now, her S3, what it is going to do is basically it's going to strip the entire battlefield of all buffs. So this is a situation to where if you're in such a bad situation, you're not really my particular comp, because we'll talk about the last hero that I use of why you don't really need to use her S3. But if you want to use a comp with Trent that's like a Balder Reve, a Chloe Balder, a Chloe Reve, you know, something like that, to where you want to strip everything down and then you have your DPS unit right after that can ult, then maybe that's a viable situation. But this is harder to do with Freya in comps, because Freya is going to give that passive healing even if no buffs are applied. So there could still be a problem if you're running that particular comp. But still, her S3 is super, super useful utility. I think this utility is going to be a lot more useful in boss fights when boss are getting a lot of buffs. So outside of Popo and Pepe for like Proto 11 and 12, she could just strip the Proto buffs when he steals them, if you're not going to be using the Disparate mechanic. So I may try this, because at the moment I don't have a Popo Pepe. So I may try this in a couple days and see if I feel confident in this. But Trent, definitely added a huge thing to the meta with her passive in S2 that really changed the meta of the PvP format. So super great. So the final unit we're going to go into is Kang Rim, and why Kang Rim absolutely breaks the current PvP meta, and we did not see this coming, you know, a week or two ago, is because of the massive amount of health, so how hard it is to kill units. What he does is what he's been doing since day one, is insta-killing units. And you cannot get around this. You cannot get around with Trent. You cannot get around with barriers. You cannot get around with damage immunity. He straight up, once you are mark of death, that unit is gone. Unless, I've seen every once in a while, every once in a blue moon, the unit can actually evade the whole attack. So I think if you evade, so like if Miho starts coming back into the meta, maybe Kang Rim won't be as potent. He'll still be amazing, but he may not be a for sure, you know, win condition if Miho is getting a lot of use again. But right now, Miho's nowhere seen in the meta that I've been playing this entire week. So I haven't seen one Miho comp on defense. So we'll have to see if that happens. Hashtag I'm making this video and everyone puts Miho on their defense teams and then rip my PvP comp. But obviously, pretty straightforward with Kang Rim. You mark a death, you instant kill, and basically that's it. So what you do, you kill their tank first, and then you start picking off their damage dealers. You let the supports go. Now, granted, if your mark of death, once it's applied to the frontline unit or whoever you're attacking first, then it's going to go randomly to somebody else. So it depends on your situation of like how important it is to switch that mark of death to somebody else, if you want to use a lot of turns to attack something else, or if you just want to go for killing it in 2 turns to do that. So, but also his other big calling card to him is he has a built-in restraint as well. So if you're not fighting against opposing Trents or med jets or things like that, then you have the opportunity to even lock down those DPS units on the turns you can insta-kill. So his utility for my particular comp is so useful, and it's letting me maintain top 100 very easily. I was 1 win away from getting in the top 10 and finally reaching grand, and I lost, and I was really upset, but it happens. It is what it is. Maybe I can climb back up at the end of the season, or the end of the week, and still hit grand at the end of the week. We'll have to see. But at any rate, his kit's super awesome. The gear I recommend for him, and this is the only unit I feel is like gear is super important. Pretty much my gear is the same on all my support units. It's like a balance of corrupt and discipline, or maybe what's the one set? Ulysses and discipline for like my Fahrenheit, things like that. So you can swap those back and forth however you guys see fit. But corrupt is very good to have at least 2 or 3 units for soul management. But Great Spirit is definitely, I think, to go full on Great Spirit on him, because getting those extra turns speeds up and mitigates your rate of losing if you cannot kill the units fast enough. If you get into a situation where Trent doesn't resist the debuffs, or somehow you get one-shotted. Like for me, my Trent getting one-shotted is really the only one I'm concerned with. It's the only one I think that's like under like 85,000 health. So that's the only unit that's really prone to getting knocked out early on before I can stabilize. Because if you go up against a team that's like Fahrenheit to provoke your Weiwei, and then things just don't go right, then that could happen. But with your Great Spirit set, if you get 1 or 2 procs on this early game, and you can get that mark applied super early and kill off that tank early, and then start restraining and start locking down other units with Kang Rim, then you can definitely get that win for sure. Now, the only downside to running this comp, my comp, is that it takes a long time. Guaranteed you're going to be going to like 75 turns, and most of the time it does go to time on turns. So that's the only issue. Me, myself, I don't use rubies to refresh PvP entries. I just use my friend points, my 10 medals I get for my 500 friend points a day, and then whatever extra medals I get maybe for like events and stuff like that. Like for the light summons, I got like 40 of them, which I already used. So that's going to be my PvP comp, guys. I'm going to leave you guys a couple of videos at the end of the video here to look at so you guys can check them out. So make sure you guys, if you guys did enjoy today's content, if it was helpful to you guys, make sure you drop a like down below, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new, and ring that bell. And I want to give a special shout out to the GMs once again of Gamevil for letting me do our awesome sponsored stream last night, where we got 70 subscribers in one night. That was absolutely phenomenal. So if any of you guys watching the video today were in the stream last night, make sure you guys drop a comment down below and put that you watched me on stream, and I'll definitely make sure I respond to you guys as well as everyone else in the video today. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's content, and I hope you guys will come back for the next one in the next video later on in the week. Thank you guys so much, and I'll have a great day, and I'll see you guys.
本物の奈落というものをお見せしましょう。
あなたに天井の式いやーレディーアクション。
本物の奈落入れよ。次元の神秘。
ここから先は通さん。
次のレディーアクションします。あなたに天井の祝福を。
今日のところはここまでとしましょうか。
ミュージックスタート。
次元の神秘。
ここから先は通さん。
あなたにあなたに天井の祝福を。
本物の奈落というものをお見せしま。はあ。
ここから先は通さん。
我の出番だ。
レディーアクション。レディーアクション。いきます。
次元の神秘よ。
あなたに
本物の奈落というものをお見せしましょう。はあ。
あなたに天井の祝福を。いや
ここから先は通さん。
レディーアクション。
次元の神秘よ。本物の奈落というものをお見せしましょう。はあ。
もう容赦はせん。
あなたにあなたに天井の祝福を。
本物の奈落というものをお見せしましょう。
ここから先は通さん。
我の出番だ。
レディーミュージックスタート。レディーアクション。ミュージックスタート。
次元の神秘よ。
あなたに天井の祝福を。いやーあなたに
本物の奈落というものを入れよ。
ここから先は通さん。
我の出番だ。
レディーアクション。レディーアクション。ミュージックスタート。
次元の神秘よ。
あなたに天上の祝福。いやー、あなたに
本物の奈落というものをお見せしましょう。
ここから先は通さん。
本物の奈落というものをお見せしましょう。
我の出番だ。
レディーアクション。ミュージックスタート。どうぞ。
次元の神秘。
あなたに天上の祝福を。あなたに
我の出番だ。
ここから先は通さん。
本物の奈落というものをお見せしましょう。いでよ。
レディーアクション。
本物の奈落というものをお見せしましょう。いでよ。次元の神秘よ。
我の出番だな。
あなたに天上の祝福を。いやー、レディーアクション。レディーアクション。ミュージックスタート。どうぞ。あなたに
ここから先は通さん。
次元の神秘よ。本物の奈落というものをお見せしましょう。
我の出番だ。
レディーミュージックスタート。どうぞ。あなたに天上の祝福を。
本物の奈落というもの。いでよ。
レディーアクション。いきます。
ここから先は通さん。
次元の神秘よ。
あなたに天上の祝福を。いやー、
我の出番だ。
レディーアクション。
本物の奈落というものを。いでよ。
レディーアクション。いきます。
次元の神秘よ。
ここから先は通さん。
我の出番だな。
あなたに天上の祝福。レディーアクション。レディーアクション。いきます。
本物の奈落というものをお見せしましょう。次元の神秘よ。 本物の奈落といでよ。
ここから先は通さん。
我の出番だな。
あなたに天井のしかレディーアクション。行きます。
次元の神秘や。
我の出番だな。
本物の奈落というものを。はあ。
ここから先は通さん。
本物の奈落というものをお見せしましょう。では良い旅を。